Red Sea Mysteries and Ancient Ocean Giants. Red Sea Brine Pools. A lethal discovery. In 2020, researchers diving in the Gulf of Aqaba between Saudi Arabia and Egypt uncovered eerie brine pools in the Red Sea. Using a remotely operated vehicle, they spotted unusual seaweed floating above the seafloor, leading to the discovery of these still, salty lakes within the ocean. Formed millions of years ago during the Miocene from dissolved mineral deposits, the largest pool spans 170,000 square feet, while three smaller ones measure under 107 feet each. These pools are up to 8 times saltier than surrounding seawater and don't mix, creating a deadly environment devoid of oxygen. While oceans produce much of Earth's oxygen through photosynthesis by marine plants like phytoplankton, seaweed, and algae, contributing about a quarter of the oxygen we breathe, these pools suffocate marine life, acting like a sticky trap for bugs. A graveyard of marine animals surrounds them, highlighting their danger. This salinity results from freezing point depression. When seawater freezes under polar caps, salt is excluded, forming dense brine that sinks, also driving ocean currents. Despite their hostility, microbial mats thrive, and salt-tolerant shrimp and eels lurk at the edges, preying on unsuspecting creatures. These pools offer clues to life's origins, resembling early Earth's oxygen-free conditions, and may inform searches for life on water-rich planets like Mars, where NASA's Habit instrument could study similar environments. The Red Sea Decade Expedition, led by the National Center for Wildlife, spent 5 months uncovering 77 new research papers worth of discoveries, including over 10 blue holes, underwater sinkholes, hosting unique ecosystems, where dolphins shelter their young plus great white shark traces, deep-sea lanternfish in low oxygen zones, resilient oxygen-independent corals, ancient thermal vents, and microbial formations near Farasan Island. Yet, only 5% of the ocean has been explored. Ocean layers and dark oxygen phenomenon. The ocean's layers grow darker with depth. The epipelagic, sunlight zone, down to 650 feet, teems with dolphins and turtles. The mesopelagic, twilight zone, to 3,000 feet, hosts elusive sharks and octopuses. The bathipelagic, midnight zone, to 13,000 feet, harbors blobfish and anglerfish. The abyssopelagic zone, to 20,000 feet, sustains small creatures like tube worms. And the hadal zone, starting at 20,000 feet, reaches 36,000 feet in the Mariana Trench. Named after Hades, the Greek underworld deity, the hadal zone's darkness, pressure, and near-freezing temperatures make it one of Earth's least explored regions, visited by only 3 people. Despite assumptions of low oxygen due to no sunlight, a research team found high oxygen levels in deep zones, produced by polymetallic nodules, potato-sized rocks, rich in copper, nickel, and cobalt. Acting like batteries, these nodules use electrolysis to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, dubbed dark oxygen, supporting half of large marine species. This suggests life could exist on low-oxygen moons like Enceladus and Europa, reshaping our understanding of life's potential in the universe. Lilstock monster, a Triassic titan. Fossils found on England's coast revealed Ichthyotitan severnensis, nicknamed the Lilstock monster, a shastosaurid marine reptile from 200 million years ago in the late Triassic. Estimated at 72 to 85 feet, nearly blue, whale-sized, surpassing the 60-foot megalodon, this specimen wasn't even fully grown, potentially reaching 100 feet. The first jaw fragment, 3 feet long, was found in 2016 in the Westbury Formation, followed by a father and daughter's 2020 beach discovery, and a final piece in 2022 along the Somerset coast. Shastosaurids, including the 69-foot Shastosaurus, dominated ancient seas with slender bodies, elongated snouts, paddle-like limbs, and large eye sockets for keen vision, making them swift, deep-diving predators. The Lilstock monster's jaw opened nearly 90 degrees, powered by strong muscles, allowing it to hunt large fish and other reptiles, unlike its kin, which targeted smaller prey with weaker jaws. Their diet suggests Triassic oceans had rich food webs. Fossils found from North America to Asia show their global reign. though scavengers often left little behind, making them mysterious. The Triassic extinction, one of Earth's Big Five, driven by volcanic eruptions, climate shifts, and possibly comet showers from the Oort cloud every 200 million years, ended their dominance, paving the way for the Jurassic. Shipwrecks, a Jurassic predator. A 150-million-year-old fossil skull, discovered by a fossil enthusiast on England's Jurassic coast, belongs to a newly identified plesiosaur species dubbed the Shipwrecks. This 6.5-foot skull, retrieved after a careful cliff descent, reveals a 40-foot predator capable of crushing a car with one bite. Plesiosaurs, among the largest marine predators, used massive teeth to seize fish and other reptiles, ruling Jurassic seas. Modern ocean giants, siphonophores and squids. Off Australia's Gascoyne coast, researchers found a 150-foot siphonophore, the world's longest animal at 2,000 feet deep, outstretching blue whales, up to 100 feet, and tripling humpback whales, around 50 feet. This colony of clones, functioning as one, captures prey with stinging tentacles, paralyzing small crustaceans and fish. The expedition also uncovered 30 potential new species, including an octopus, long-tailed sea cucumber, glass sponges, and giant hydroid colonies. In the Gulf of Mexico, near an oil rig at 7,800 feet, a 26-foot bigfin squid, Magna pinna, was spotted. Its elastic tentacles, 15 to 20 times its body length, angled like elbows, used to trap prey on the seafloor. In Antarctica, experts studying Promachocrinus, Antarctic feather stars, encountered a new 20-armed species, resembling a sci-fi creature lurking in frozen depths. Eerie ocean creatures and mysterious land formations, Antarctic strawberry feather star, a deep-sea oddity. The Antarctic strawberry feather star, Promachocrinus, related to starfish and sea cucumbers, dwells up to 6,500 feet below the surface in Antarctic waters. Despite its name, its appearance is far from charming, with a strawberry-shaped body and 20 spindly arms of varying lengths and thicknesses. Its colors range from deep purple to dark reddish, giving it an otherworldly look that hints at the many undiscovered creatures lurking in the ocean, AS depths. Strange land formations, nature and human artifacts. In Garb, Sudan, a hill formation resembles a giant lip with a crack, as if swallowing the landscape, evoking a black hole scenario. On Vostok Island, a 59-acre coral atoll 400 miles northwest of Tahiti, in the southwestern Pacific, dense Pisonia tree forests appear as a dark, blackened area on Google Earth, sparking theories of secret bases or fictional origins, like the island from Lost. In reality, it's an untouched, uninhabited natural spot. Near Beatty, Nevada, a massive star-shaped mandala outside the Tonopah Test Range, often called Area 52, fuels extraterrestrial speculation, but it's likely a crop circle, a phenomenon popularized by Google Earth. In Rhyolite, Nevada, a ghost town, a spiral rock formation forms a labyrinth within an open-air museum, surrounded by eerie statues of white-cloaked men, art installations by a Belgian artist from the 1980s. In Wyoming, numerous circular structures mark the landscape, remnants of a 20th century shift from farming to an oil, gas, and coal-based economy, likely old tank farm sites for oil storage. In Kazakhstan, a 1,200-foot diameter pentagram, initially thought to be tied to occult practices, is actually a star-shaped park outlined by tree-lined roadways, visible from afar. In De Hoge Veluwe National Park, Gelderland, Netherlands, the park's logo creates striking lines on aerial views, resembling an alien symbol but grounded in human design. In Inner Mongolia, China, a granite mine appears bright blue on Google Earth, though more natural on Bing Maps, leaving its coloration a mystery. The Merry Man in the Australian outback, a 2-mile-long, 1.6-mile-wide geoglyph of an indigenous man hunting with a boomerang carved with deep furrows, remains an enigma since its discovery in the late 1990s. In Egypt's Sahara, the Desert Breath art installation, created in 1997 by 3 Greek artists, spans 280,000 square feet with a central pool, often mistaken for an extraterrestrial creation. A triangular plateau 8 miles west of the Nile Valley in Upper Egypt, thought by some to be a hidden pyramid, is likely just an eroded hill, per experts. In Alberta, Canada, the Badlands Guardian, a natural formation sculpted by rainwater erosion on clay-rich soil, resembles two human heads, with human-made structures giving the appearance of one wearing headphones. In China's Gobi Desert, zigzagging white lines, possibly painted or dug, are likely satellite calibration grids, aiding camera orientation in space. Off Crooked Island, Bahamas, a plane visible on Google Earth, often linked to Pablo Escobar, is likely a flying plane captured mid-air, though a real Escobar-linked crash site exists in nearby Norman's Cay, visible in shallow waters. A Google Earth Street View shadow in an unspecified location reveals a person with a trekker backpack, capturing 360-degree imagery, not an alien as some might think. Mausoleum of Emil Becker, a haunting relic. The Mausoleum of Emil Becker in Poland, visible via Google Earth Street View, is an abandoned site featuring a chilling sculpture, its eerie atmosphere enough to unsettle even the bravest explorers. Deep-sea terrors, from anglerfish to gigantism. The anglerfish, often dubbed the ugliest animal, inhabits the Atlantic and Antarctic oceans up to a mile deep, with over 200 species like the black sea devil, frogfish, and monkfish. Larger ones reach half a bed's length, but most are under a foot. In the dark depths, they use a bioluminescent dorsal spine as a fishing rod to lure prey, swallowing creatures twice their size. Only females have this feature, while males, much smaller, attach permanently to females after mating, merging biologically for life, a survival tactic in the harsh, low-oxygen environment. In the twilight zone, 650 to 3,300 feet, the common fangtooth actively hunts with long teeth, using smell and faint sunlight to detect prey, harmless to humans despite its fierce look. The stoplight loosejaw, named for its green and red light-emitting photophores under its eyes, keeps its quarter-body-length jaw open to catch zooplankton, shrimp, and krill in the twilight and midnight zones. The slender snipe eel, with a bird-like beak and tiny hooked teeth, stretches 5 feet but weighs mere ounces, catching shrimp and reproducing once before dying. Glass squids float effortlessly, their lighter-than-water solution allowing them to drift transparently, evading predators by curling into a ball, releasing ink, or activating light organs around their eyes. Sea cucumbers, found across ocean depths, move with tiny feet or body flexing, shedding sticky organs to distract predators and regenerating them later. Sea sapphires, a type of copepod, shimmer in colors from blue to gold due to light-reflecting transparent bodies, a communication and mating tactic, though females lack this ability and have larger eyes to spot males. Deep-sea gigantism in the coldest depths, beyond 3,300 feet, produces oversized invertebrates like sea spiders, squids, and worms, often washed ashore after storms, revealing the ocean's hidden monsters. Deep-sea giants and volcanic survivors, gigantism in the abyss, oversized deep-sea creatures. Deep-sea gigantism results in massive creatures in the ocean's coldest depths. In the Pacific, a sea sponge can grow as large as a minivan, while the colossal squid in sub-Antarctic waters stretches 14 times longer than New Zealand's arrow squid. In 2021, researchers captured images of the giant phantom jelly at 3,200 feet, its 33-foot tentacles trailing behind. Feeding on small fish and plankton, it dives to 21,900 feet, where food is scarce, leaving scientists puzzled about its survival. The largest giant squid ever recorded, at 43 feet and nearly a ton, could crush a car with its tentacles. In the lightless abyssal zone, where sunlight can't penetrate, there's no algae or plants, so creatures rely on marine snow organic debris, like flakes and leftovers from the surface. Giant squids conserve energy by waiting for prey to swim into their tentacles, consuming just 1 ounce of fish daily, about 45 calories, 50 times less than a human's daily needs, rationing a single fish for days. Greenland sharks, found at 7,200 feet, swim at a leisurely 1.12 feet per second, twice as slow as a human walk, scavenging surface leftovers with short bursts of speed to catch prey. Growing 0.4 inches annually to 20 feet, they live up to 400 years, their slow metabolism aided by natural antifreeze in their tissues to endure cold waters. Kleiber's rule explains their size. Larger animals are more efficient, with better metabolism, energy conservation, and the ability to handle larger prey or environmental challenges. In colder, oxygen-rich Antarctic waters, sea spiders grow from 0.04 inches to 3 feet, using diffused oxygen to fuel their growth. Giant tube worms, discovered near Pacific hydrothermal vents, reach 8 feet, thriving in near-boiling toxic waters by hosting bacteria that convert chemicals into energy via chemosynthesis, bypassing sunlight. Giant isopods, at 1,640 feet, resemble oversized woodlice, using hooked claws for stability, long sensory antennae, and large eyes to navigate in darkness, surviving on sparse food with a metabolism so slow they can go 5 years without eating. A 2006 study likened the deep sea to the island rule. Isolated regions foster unique biodiversity, with limited resources but fewer predators, allowing small-bodied life to grow larger. Life near undersea volcanoes, extreme survivors. Undersea volcanoes create harsh environments with acidic water, sometimes between stomach acid and battery acid levels laden with toxic chemicals. Yet, life thrives near hydrothermal vents, which release minerals, hot water, up to 750 degrees, and bacteria through ocean floor fissures. Bacteria expelled during eruptions form thick colonies, sustained by dissolved minerals and warmth, becoming a food source for deep-sea creatures. A shrimp species grazes on bacterial filaments with garden shear-like claws, dodging volcanic hazards. In 2015, researchers left a camera in the acidic waters near the Solomon Islands Cavachi volcano, discovering hammerheads, scalloped hammerheads, and reef sharks thriving amid eruptions, lava, and steam. Special pores near their snouts may help them sense magnetic field changes, aiding migration and hazard avoidance, a trait honed over millions of years. A sleeper shark was spotted 12 miles from Cavachi, typically found in the northern Atlantic, Pacific, or near Antarctica and Australia. On the Kermadec Ridge near New Zealand, a 3-week expedition across 3,800 square miles of volcanic terrain revealed a rainbow-glowing polychaete worm at 3,900 feet, a predator with horror movie jaws. The Pompeii worm, another vent dweller, endures temperatures over 140 degrees above. Near Sydney, the snaggletooth dragonfish, a black fish with translucent fangs, inhabits warm, acidic volcanic waters, rarely seen by humans. The Europtychus squat lobster, at 4,600 feet near deep-sea coral, flattens its body to fit into crevices, using long claws to deter threats, its soft carapace unprotected by a shell. Snake stars, at 4,000 feet, wrap around coral branches to capture food particles, while hairy, red-eyed crabs inhabit volcanic vents. Researchers study deep-sea corals, whose skeletons record noble gases, providing data on nearby volcanic activity. Deep-sea marvels and volcanic ecosystems. Volcanic dwellers, hoff crabs and Galapagos. Snakes. Hoff crabs, named for their hairy chests, thrive at 1.5 miles deep near Antarctica's volcanic vents, among a hidden world of deep-sea creatures. Large male hoff crabs perch highest on mineral spires closest to the hot, mineral-rich fluids, while smaller males stay at the base. After mating, females move away to safer, warm seeps to protect their young from toxic fluids and predators like seven-armed sea stars and large anemones. On the Galapagos Islands, home to 21 volcanoes, 13 active, unique species like iguanas, tortoises, and snakes have adapted to volcanic summits, showcasing the region's biodiversity. Near an active undersea volcano in the Galapagos, northern fur seals inhabit a small island with steam, mud, and sulfurous gases venting, surrounded by rocks from past eruptions. Despite the harsh setting, abundant food like squid and northern smooth tonguefish makes it ideal for raising their young. Rainforest giant, the woolly rat of Mount Bosavi. In the rainforest around the extinct Mount Bosavi volcano in New Guinea, With its 2.5-mile-wide crater and high walls, lives the giant woolly rat. Measuring 32 inches from nose to tail and weighing 3.5 pounds, it's among the world's largest rats, with a silver-gray coat. Likely building underground nests, it feeds on roots and leaves, having evolved to thrive in this isolated environment. Part of New Guinea's diverse ecosystem with over 70 rodent species. Ocean giants, from blue whales to siphonophores. The ocean, with 95% unexplored, hosts incredible creatures. The blue whale, the largest living animal at 82 to 105 feet, surpasses a T-Rex or megalodon in size. Its tongue weighs as much as an elephant, its heart as much as a car, and it consumes 4 tons of krill daily, per National Geographic. Orcas, toothed whales, grow 23 to 32 feet, slightly smaller than a school bus, while narwhals, Arctic unicorns of the sea, reach 13 to 20 feet, including their 9-foot tusk. The lion's mane jellyfish, the largest jellyfish, grows up to 120 feet, with 8 sets of 70 to 150 tentacles, up to 1 to 200 total in red, purple, or orange hues. The giant oceanic manta ray, the largest ray, spans 30 feet with the biggest brain-to-body ratio among fish, lacking the venomous tail of stingrays. The Portuguese man-o'-war, Physalia physalis, a siphonophore, extends 165 feet with its tentacles, per mental floss. A colony of genetically identical units, its sting can be fatal to animals and humans, with detached tentacles remaining dangerous for days, causing welts, cramps, and elevated heart rates, though encounters are rare. Ancient marine reptiles, titans of prehistoric seas. The Shastasaurus, a late Triassic reptile from 210 million years ago, reached 69 feet and weighed 75 tons, rivaling a blue whale. If stood upright, it would match a 7-story building, yet its ribcage spanned only 6 feet, and it fed on small fish and cephalopods. The Albertonectes, a North American plesiosaur from 76 to 70 million years ago, grew to 38 feet, with a 23-foot neck containing a record 76 vertebrae. Its neck may have aided in foraging for shellfish or capturing fish, supported by gastroliths up to 5.5 inches wide. The Tylosaurus, a 45-foot mosasaur from 85 to 80 million years ago, dominated shallow North American seas with a hydrodynamic body, agile flippers, and a powerful head for ramming prey like fish, turtles, and other mosasaurs. The Ophthalmosaurus, a 16-foot, 6,000-pound Jurassic reptile, roamed global oceans with large eyes and dolphin-like features. The Mosasaurus, a 50-foot carnivore from 66 million years ago, was the era's top marine predator, its crocodile-like head armed with 2 rows of razor-sharp teeth and pterygoid teeth for gripping prey. The Styxosaurus, a 35-foot plesiosaur from 85 to 70 million years ago, had a 16-foot snake-like neck, using conical teeth to catch fish, with gastroliths aiding digestion or helping it sink to hunt. Quirky sea creatures, from red handfish to vampire squids. The Tasmanian red handfish walks on the ocean floor using flipper-like fins, disturbed by swimmers and boats, better left undisturbed. The vampire squid, Vampiroteuthis infernalis, meaning vampire squid from hell, sports a dark red hue and spikes, turning inside out to reveal spikier skin as a defense. Harmless to humans, it feeds on plant and animal particles, using bioluminescent particles to distract predators. The vaquita, a shy porpoise off Mexico's coast, resembles a sea panda with black eye markings. Critically endangered with only about 10 left, it often gets trapped in fishing nets. The blue dragon, Glaucus atlanticus, a 1-inch mollusk in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, floats on its back, its blue underbelly camouflaging with waves. It feeds on Portuguese man-o'-war, storing their stinging cells to use against threats, making it dangerous to touch despite its beauty. The barrel-eye fish, with a transparent head, lives in the deep sea's high-pressure darkness, its movable eyes peering through its head to spot prey like jellyfish, aided by enhanced light detection. The orange ball corallimorph glows at night but retracts when light hits it. The megalodon, a prehistoric shark from 15.9 to 2.6 million years ago, spanned 45 to 60 feet with 7-inch teeth. Its 6-foot-wide jaws a testament to its dominance. The Dumbo octopus, Grimpoteuthis, named for its ear-like fins, lives in the deep sea, hovering above the seafloor at 8 inches tall, feeding on snails and worms near vents. The sea angel preys on sea butterflies with mucus traps, while the squat anemone shrimp, at 0.5 inches, dances by raising its tail and cleans divers' hands. Coconut crabs, up to 3 feet, hunt coconuts, lizards, and birds. The slender snipe eel, 4 feet long with over 750 spinal bones, remains a mystery. The sea pen, 7 feet tall, anchors to the sea floor like a quill. The Persian carpet flatworm, 4 inches, fights others to reproduce, while the flamingo tongue snail stores coral toxins for defense, its vibrant colors belying a dull shell. Exploring the ocean's deepest secrets, the vast and unexplored oceans cover over 70% of Earth's surface, with an average depth of 3.7 kilometers, yet they remain largely uncharted. Below 3,500 meters, new species await discovery, alongside debris and pollution. Light penetrates only to 100 meters, leaving most of the ocean in perpetual darkness, as water constitutes 96% of Earth's total water. If all fresh water entering the ocean were spread across its surface, it would form a layer just 1.25 meters thick. Remarkably, 94% of Earth's life thrives in water, making terrestrial life a minority. We know more about Mars' surface than our ocean floor, where extreme pressure and darkness make exploration challenging. A descent into the abyss. Let's dive into the ocean's depths, stopping at key levels to uncover its mysteries. At 40 meters, the limit for breath-holding pearl divers, pressure begins to force air from the lungs, marking the maximum depth for recreational divers. By 200 meters, 90% of marine life resides in this sunlit layer, where phytoplankton flourish, feeding crustaceans, fish, and whales. Deeper, in the twilight zone at 332 meters, the record for scuba diving without a bathyscaphe light fades and photosynthesis dwindles. At 565 meters, emperor penguins dive, hiding from predators in a near-lifeless zone. At 1,000 meters, the twilight zone ends with just 1% of sunlight remaining. Creatures like siphonophores, jellyfish relatives living in colonies around a shared digestive tube, glow with bioluminescence to attract prey or deter threats. In the midnight zone at 2,200 meters, total darkness reigns. Food is scarce, and species like giant octopuses, sperm whales, and anglerfish using a glowing lure powered by symbiotic bacteria survive on marine snow. Organic particles like dead fish remains, plant debris, dust, and sand. At 6,100 meters, transcontinental internet cables rest, and over 90% of the ocean lies at this depth, considered its conditional bottom, though trenches plunge deeper. The Mariana Trench, Earth's deepest frontier, formed 180 million years ago by the subduction of the Pacific Plate beneath the Philippine Plate. The Mariana Trench stretches 2,542 kilometers over 5 times the Grand Canyon's length and averages 70 kilometers wide. Its Challenger Deep, 340 kilometers from Guam, reaches depths of 10,028 to 11,034 meters, while the Serena Deep, 200 kilometers east, hits 10,809 meters. Despite Earth's equatorial bulge, the Arctic Ocean's floor is closer to the planet's center due to polar flattening. At 414 meters, the Daikoku volcano hosts a rare molten sulfur lake, boiling at 107 degrees Celsius. Deeper, at 1,600 meters, Black Smoker's hydrothermal vents eject mineral-rich water at 450 degrees Celsius under immense pressure, possibly a cradle for life a billion years ago. In 1960, Jacques Picard and Don Walsh descended to 10,218 meters in the Trieste bathyscaphe, spotting a flatfish in just 20 minutes, a groundbreaking discovery. A 2011 expedition using drop cams captured a 10-centimeter foraminifera, and in 2012, James Cameron's deep-sea Challenger dive identified 200 invertebrate species. In 2014, at 8,145 meters, complex multicellular organisms, including a record-breaking snailfish, were found, thriving without natural predators. Other deep trenches, Puerto Rico and Kermadec. The Puerto Rico Trench, at the Caribbean Sea-Atlantic boundary, reaches 8,276 meters at the Milwaukee Deep, discovered in 1939 by the U.S. Navy ship Milwaukee and precisely measured in 2018 using Kongsberg EM-124 sonar. Victor Vescovo's 2018 dive marked the first manned exploration. Geologically active, a 1918 earthquake here triggered a tsunami, killing over 100 in Puerto Rico and causing millions in damages. NASA notes a dense formation beneath the trench, creating a gravitational anomaly that slightly lowers the ocean's surface, affecting navigation accuracy. A 2012 robotic dive photographed amphipods and identified a 10 to 20 centimeter sea cucumber, Peniagone, and a crustacean, Monopsidae, challenging survival theories at such depths. The Kermadec Trench, a 200-kilometer-long Pacific trench near the Kermadec Islands, discovered in 1889 by the British ship Penguin, reaches 10,047 meters. In 2012, researchers found 34-centimeter Alicella gigantea amphipods, far larger than the typical 2-centimeter crustaceans due to extreme conditions. Deep-sea fish like Liparis kermadicensis live between 6,472 and 7,561 meters, and pearlfish, typically found at 1,800 to 2,000 meters, were spotted at 8,200 to 8,300 meters, their presence a mystery. The future of ocean exploration. With only a fraction of the ocean explored, technological advances fuel discovery. In 2020, 6 manned expeditions to the Mariana Trench hinted at more revelations to come, unveiling the alien worlds beneath our seas.